Hello, who's around? Missed you guys. Been a while. Let me see whether anybody's around. We start our thing today. Okay. This week we have had a few things happening. We did that show on Citizen. We did on Switch. You guys have been wonderful. You gave me feedback. And I like the way we are growing. I have always said I believe we are one of the fastest growing Facebook group. All right. I believe we are one of the people who are most cohesive, and that we do things that other people it has taken them very long to be able to achieve them. The level at which you guys were interacting, I can see like, imagine our work this week reached how many people? 657,000 in the last 28 days. We have had 377,000 engagement. Post likes were page likes, the new page likes over 8,000. So guys, I'm very thankful. You're growing very fast. I must always tell you that you're my team. We keep growing. Today, let me talk about a few things that some of you have asked me to discuss. Birth orders. There's a time we talked about sibling rivalry and what birth orders do and where you are placed. We talked about that. There's something else that we need to touch on there. The only child of that gender, for example, the only girl among boys or the only boy among girls, and what that means. Sometimes a child who is the only has inordinate attachment with the parents. Sometimes, and too often that happens. If you start dating and you ignore that fact that this person could be the only, and the parents treat them with a particular kind of attachment that is abnormal, you'll find yourself fighting battles you are not prepared for. We are not saying you cannot date that person. We are saying study what that means to them. Study what that means in their availability. I know a couple married, and the guy must see the mother every day. He's the only son. And he must drive by the mother to see him, to see her. Every day she's not sick. They just have that enmeshment. And the woman who got married there feels like she came into a pre-existing marriage. Huh? Between mother and son. Yeah? Feels like marriage because she's the woman. She's the one calling the shots. Be very careful when a lady is talking with her father 3 times a day. Huh? 3 times a day, phone call. She's over there at work and they're so tight. Once a day is understandable unless somebody is sick and you're checking on now they're doing the hospital. That makes sense. But if this person is constantly on phone with the mother, and they're touchy. When you try to correct things to do the mother, they are very sensitive. With the father, they're very sensitive. People who have inordinate attachment with the parents are shaky. They are risky to date. They are hard to handle. You must first check if they're creating room for you. And if they can wake up at night. One couple told me the guy can be woken up at night by the mother. To go, they talk at night. And the mother is not sick, just felt like they need to talk about it, just calm. Yeah? And he wakes up, no consultation, just runs away. Yeah? Listen, don't stay with a person if you have to squeeze between them and the parent. Don't be so desperate for a relationship that you contract for anything, settle for anything. If you go to the dating market with some sort of desperation that you're going to take for anything, you're going to settle just for anything to get married, don't complain when you end up with things that you can't even define. Men, listen to me especially. If a girl is the favorite of the father, that is very important. It means she has learned how to deal with men. And she will love you that way because she's used to it. That is very healthy. But there's a part of that connection that can be very toxic. When the father is the one giving advices, even when you've married her, the type of cash she has to buy is the father who gives the say. Whether she will get a boy or a girl, how to name the child, the father's voice is the most important. You will feel like you play second fiddle. You feel like you are delegated to a lower position, that you're not the most important person. If you have to be compared and to be gauged against a parent, resign from that role. It's not worth it. Resign from that role. And this is the most stupid thing that makes getting pregnant, marrying because of pregnancy. That's where the stupidity comes in. You don't have time to check all these background checks. Listen to me, women. If you get married, step back. Don't rush in. Before you get into marriage, you need time to evaluate. Many marriages that are entered because of children are always problematic, delicate, walk on eggshells. You did not cross-check boundaries. Dating follows the following progression. One is familiarization. You get to know each other, you familiarize. The second one is called role-playing. This is what people call dating. You start meeting up for this to see how if it can work, how if I became your woman, he became my man, what would happen, and all that. The third thing is called bait and switch, or step back. This is to see whether the person is serious with you or they are just having you because you are easy come, because you are too available. This is the next. After you step back and they pursue you, even you as a man, you're supposed to show that you're serious. And that if she's not serious, you should not continue wasting each other's time. There is that stage in relationship where you need to show your seriousness. For women, it's about stepping back. For men, sometimes it's about asserting what they want. It's about stating, The other stage is called negotiation. We agree on terms. We will be doing ABCD. We will be doing ABCD. This is what I expect from my woman. This is what I expect from my man. And see whether you like what you're seeing. If you don't like what you're seeing, if they cannot agree to it, and for women, you need to agree, where will you build? Will you build at the parents' home? Will you build at the compound? Will you continue working? Some men want to ask you to stay at home. Men, listen to me. If you ask your woman to stay home and not work, when will she expand her mind? How will you grow in tandem when she's not working? Okay, she can be reading books. I know you can read books from home. All right. But reading theory is different. Working makes a woman solve challenges of the job. Face life. Expand and grow with you. Let this woman grow, man. Grow together with her. Take her to school. Let her fly. When she's better, she's a better helper, man. Don't keep your woman at home saying other men will see you. No. She will not be seen by she will not be seen by other women. She will not be seen by other men. It is her choice. And she will be seen. Everybody is seen. But she will choose as she wants. Listen to me. I want you to realize that part of what you're dealing with when you're marrying a person is this person will be your running mate. If you pick a running mate who is not going far, you won't go far with it. Don't rush in because of pregnancy before you check who you're dealing with. Pregnancy skips process. Marrying because of pregnancy skips process. If you're inside the marriage now and you came in, rushed in by the pregnancy, rushed in by the baby, desire to cover up, I have an advice for you. Rethink. If things are not yet official, step back to look at this thing from inside. To look at it and see whether this is still what I want. It's always possible to cooperate. Do not compromise and settle on a poor quality relationship for the sake of covering a pregnancy. It's not worth it. In the long run, you come to see it was not worth it. But if you're in this marriage and already things official, try now to focus on your growth and self-improvement and bring up your partner with you. Tell them that this is what you want. Tell them that you want to actualize your potential. And the women, I told you, there's no wisdom at all in living with a man before he marries you. You moved in, now you have to push for him to go to Dari. You have to push. Really? Is that what you want? You want to feel desired and loved and cherished. You don't want to be the one pushing for him to do things, pushing for him to love you, pushing for him to go see your parents. What are you doing? You're doing things the wrong way. You're supposed to be pursued. And if you're living with a man for 4 years and nothing official, use your common Mackenzie. You're behaving stupid. You are your own enemy. It is your foolishness that is causing you to marry on loan. You might never get anything done. Those are the women who end up paying their own dowry. You give him the money because he keeps saying, I have no money. You give him money to go pay the dowry. Give him money to go pay for you. What kind of disgrace is this? You wanted to feel appreciated. Why moving because of pregnancy? You can learn and plan your life differently. In America, people stay engaged for 8 years Me and Jim have been engaged for 10 years. We have 3 babies. What kind of engagement is this? Stupidity is this? You stay pending in a purgatory, pending for 8 years. Somebody is still indecisive and decided about you, and you're satisfied with that? Is that what you want? Women, I must repeat, there's no known benefit. There's no known benefit to stay when you're not being protected by a contract. Your time is going. Your reputation matters. Now you're getting a reputation of being taken, and yet you're not taken. Safeguard your reputation. We say the person you pick determines the speed at which you move in life. There are people who cannot decide a simple thing, like to buy a spray. People cannot decide, let us buy a spray for, they cannot decide on a simple thing without fighting. And you want to sign a contract of marriage with that person? Surely. You want a person whom you can harmonize quickly. They don't mind. They don't mind. They don't mind coming to a place of, they don't mind humbling and giving way. They don't mind accepting. They don't mind letting you have way today. You need a person who does not have an ego that is overbloated. And women too have ego. They can be too sensitive, just too sensitive. Listen to me, men. Men, I need to mention this. Today I'm not keeping you for long, guys. Don't pick a girl to mentor her and then marry her. There's a place at which you should surely improve and help your woman to grow. There's a place where you advance each other, but it's usually mutual. They stretch you this side, you stretch on this side. Don't pick a girl who is way below you, then you want to educate her, improve her. That's why men are attracted to girls in the university who finished Form 4. You pay a fee, so you're not even paying a fee, so you're trying to, mentor her or bring her up. She will always be a student. Now, relationship of student, teacher, mentor, mentee usually expires. It usually doesn't last for long. It is rich when there's a lot to learn. But if the student learns and they reach a point they have nothing more to learn from you, the relationship expires, and many times it ends in a bad way, bad blood, with a blast. When that mentorship relationship expires, the relationship there will be a split, a detachment, a conflict. Even if you had forced the marriage, there will be an emotional detachment. Men, get a woman who you have colleague level. You can challenge each other mutually. You can move together. Not one who you are the one like a father figure. Huh? That one will obey you for a while. A time will come, they will want their freedom. That's what happens to the mentees. It reaches a point they want their freedom. And if you had tied them in marriage, they will detach emotionally, and that relationship will turn into a minefield of pain and tension and fight. Men, women, listen to me now. Some of you are rehabilitating men, picking a damaged man who has collapsed. In drug, the business is finished. He is in stress, or not getting along. Then you rehabilitate him, build him up, and you're trying to marry him. Stupid. You don't rehabilitate a man to marry him. It is the same mentorship dynamic. It will flow when he needs you. A time will come, he will start feeling resentment for that behavior perceived as charity. Giving a man charity, giving reaches a point he feels smothered, feels spoiled, feels emasculated. If you think giving will produce love, you are thoroughly deluded. There must reach a point where the person you are building takes off on their own. I'm not saying you don't go helping. Oh, I know some of you are very merciful. Oh, you're like Mother Teresa. Oh, yeah. Some of you are very merciful. But don't try to marry the people you help. It's your common sense. Help them and let them go. When you meet a beggar on the road, you carry them home. You drop a coin and go home. Help them, but don't carry them home. You're trying to marry a person you rehabilitated. You are attempting the impossible. And even if you sustain the marriage, it will always be delicate. It will always be standing. You have to walk on eggshells, because now that you have money and he came to your house, you can't correct him. He keeps saying because you have the money, because the guy is yours, because he uses the very thing you helped him with against you. You can't now correct him. You can't tell him anything because you're giving him money. Oh, because you have money. Oh, you look down upon me. And he will use use that to silence you every time things will get thick. Some of you women are so desperate to find any man. You're saying, money doesn't matter. It's about love, you know. Me, I don't mind paying you as long as we love each other. Just stupid. Money is part of the love dynamics. The person who has money calls the shots. The person who has the money feels in charge. There's something wrong with a man who sits in the house holding a remote control on a television and being paid bills for by the woman. Something in him is broken. Something in him is missing. Even if he has no job, you should see him doing whatever he can to bring bread home. Listen, ladies, you're too very annoying. These successful women who are willing to go to any length. I don't mind paying for as long as we love each other. I don't mind paying. You are a fool. Don't mistake your charity to think that you don't have your own needs. You need to feel cherished. You need to feel taken care of. You need to feel pursued. Your human psychology, your psychology as a woman demands that you be taken care of, desired, pursued. Looking for a boy to wash, rehabilitate, put together, and suddenly you're creating your own husband. How is your creation work going? How many days are you seeing to create? Okay. I will not stay here today. Finally, there are some of you who are holding back to wait until you get married, then you release yourself. You're capable of buying a good car, but you're avoiding to buy it. You're capable of buying a house, but you're avoiding because you don't want to scare prospects. And I want to ask you, do you want to pretend and stay small to attract people so that they're not scared by your success and greatness? When they come, will they handle the success that you're hiding from them? We're not saying you flaunt or you show off, but surely don't hide who you are. It's better to be you so that people love you for who you are. If you can afford a V8, Lexus, Mercedes, whichever car, drive it. You don't flaunt it, just drive it. Just be you. Does not mean you don't have priorities. Surely you have priorities. Continue. Have your own priorities, but please continue the life. Don't hold because of a person. Don't hold because of a person. Forge on and carry on as you seek. Finally, if you have reached dating stage, date proactively. Don't just sit and wait. Okay? Thank you so much, guys. That's all for today. See you next time.